Greetings, friend. This is a quite clever puzzle that Julian Locke made and sent to me to solve. This puzzle's worth studying because you can approach it from several different ways. I'm going to show you the simplest way to break into this puzzle, which will not only reduce the number of advanced strategies you need to crack it, but also a shortcut that will let you solve this puzzle faster. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go. And with that, it's solving time. Okay, I want to show you the simplest, most basic form of set equivalence theory that I have seen to date. For set equivalence theory, what you want to do is you look and understand that this row contains the digits 1 through 9, right? It's one complete set of digits 1 through 9. This row would also contain the digits 1 through 9. And so we're going to color that orange. So we know that this is two complete sets of digits 1 through 9. We also know that this column and this column will contain the set of the digits 1 through 9. They share these four blocks. So the digits will be the same and exactly the same in these, the set of orange and the set of blue. So we're not worried about that too much. The other thing you can notice is that you have a couple of repeat digits. You got these 8s, one orange and one blue. You got one orange and one blue of the 6s. So we don't need to consider those. Those are going to be the same in both sets. But what we care about are the differences. So in the orange, you see mostly we have odd numbers. 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 7. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 empty cells that we don't know. And so what we do know is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits in this blue that don't match any of the givens in the orange. So by set equivalence theory, since we know that these, this 2, 4, 6, and 8 have to be somewhere in here, there's 6 of them, and there's only 6 available places to put them, we know that these can only be the digits 2, 4, 6, and 8. That's the only possibilities that could be in there. And we can further reduce by going, okay, we have an 8 in the row. We have a 6 in that block. We have a 2 in this column, and we have a 4 in that block. And you go down here and you go, we have a 6 in the row. We have an 8 in the block, 2 in the block, and a 4 right there. Great. Now let's look at these blue. We know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 empty cells. And we have these 6 givens, this 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 7, that aren't the same as these 2, 4, 6, and 8. Well, we know in the blue cells, this 1, 3, 5, and the 7, they have to be in here somewhere. So by set equivalence theory, the only possibilities for these would be 1, 3, 5, and a 7. This is good stuff for us, okay? So we can get rid of the 1 right there. We can get rid of the 5 right there. And now we can come over here and go, okay, there's a 7 in the block. There's a 5 right here, and there is a 1, 3, 5, 7 all available. Now keep in mind, what's in these 2 cells right here? It would be a 7 and a 9. Those are the only 2 possibilities if you were to figure that out. And then the only 2 possibilities for these 2 cells is a 5 and 9. So I want to show you something here very important, because you're probably like, hey, Timberlake, I started this puzzle in a different way. And that's okay. That's okay. So let's get rid of these colors. You could go here and you could have started and said, okay, I got a 7 and 9 right here. And you could have eliminated the 7 and 9 from these cells. And that would have been okay. And you would have got it with these 3 cells. And you could put the 5 and a 9 right here. And you could have eliminated these and go, that's a 5, 9. What you can't do by using these, like this naked pair, is, and in this naked pair by itself, you cannot eliminate the 9 in column 1 and column 9. You notice how there's no 9s there because of set. This is going to help us later. It's going to make the solve a little bit quicker. What you could do, and this is another advanced strategy, is you could look at these 4 cells, and I'll make them all blue to kind of make my point a little easier. is you could go, okay, there's 3 different digits, a 5, 7, and a 9. Those are the only 4 possibilities for those 4 cells. Well, since we know that the 9s have to be, like an X-wing, they can't see each other, we know that those 4 cells contain exactly 2 9s. They have to contain 1 7 because the 7 has to be there or there, and they have to contain 1 5, has to be there or there. That is called multi-sector hidden set. It's basically you're doing like pairs, triples, quads using multiple houses, a row, column, or block. So you're stretching along these 4 cells. So you could use that multi-sector hidden set to theorize, hey, a 9's got to be here and here, 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 and then eliminate the 9s from columns 1 and 9. And that's okay. In fact, Jovial did a whole Sudoku puzzle pack based on MSHS, as she called it. And if you want to get cool puzzle packs like that from amazing setters like her, and even one that I'm making, click on the pin comment below, join the Smarty Party. You'll get this exclusive content plus so much more. This is going to make our solve a little easier, knowing that these are not 9s anymore in that particular row 5. And I'll show you that here in just a little bit. So let's get rid of the color. If you did find those naked pairs, congratulations. That's a great way to get started in this puzzle. So where would you go next? A couple things you could look at is you could go, okay, I got 2s limited in rows 1 and 9 to columns 3 and 7, and go, okay, that's an X-wing. 2's here and here, here and here. And you could go through and eliminate all the extra 2's in columns 3 and 7. That'd be great. Something else you could notice, since we eliminated a 5 from right here, you got these 2 5s. The only place left for a 5 in column 8 is right there. And so you could put that 5 in right there. That's the first actual digit we get to solve. And then by putting that 5 there, you can eliminate these 5s, and then you can notice that in column 1, in column 9, you have the 5s are in the same 2 rows, rows 3 and 9. And so you have an X-wing of 5s. And then you can eliminate all the 5s across the row 3, and then you already eliminated all the ones across row 9. However, I'm telling you, you do not need to do all that. There's a much simpler strategy that'll be more important and get us more further along than those X-wings. And the set equivalence theory should include you in and to see it right away. Look at this cell right here. Okay? You'll notice it's got a 2 and an 8, right? And then this cell right here is a 4 and an 8. Okay, so 2 and 8, that's a bivalue cell. And then the 4 and 8 has an additional candidate. So you got 3 different candidates here, 2, 4, and 8, 2 different pairs. Now, if we can match it up with another cell that contains a 2 and a 4, we'd have all 3 paired possibilities of the 2, 4, 8 combo. And sure enough, 4, 8 here, 2, 8 here, you got 2, 4 right there. So now we have the 3 paired possibilities, 2, 4, 2, 8, 4, 8. One of them, the orange cell, sees the 2 blue cells. So if this is a 2, we know that has to be a 4. If this is an 8, that has to be a 4. So any cell that sees these 2 blues, we can eliminate a 4. This is the advanced strategy you want to find and that we uncovered using set equivalence theory. Because what it means is now this cell right here cannot contain a 4. This is called an XY wing. And this is awesome stuff. And I want you to share this with somebody you know and see if they can find this. What strategy they use. Did they go for the X-wings, or were they able to come here and find this XY wing? And if you want to solve XY wings even better, check out my tutorial. I'll put a link right here. And now we can move on and get some more solving. And let's see where this takes us. We know that's a 6, and we can remove these colors now. What else does that do for us? Since this is a 6, well, now we can solve this for a 2, we can solve this for a 4. And this now has to be a 4, that's an 8, that's a 2. Okay, so we're able to make some solves across row 1 and row 9. Now let's look at where 6s can be here in block 1. You got these 2 6s. You got this 6. The only place left for 6 is right there. And then we can take this a little further and look in block 5, you got these two 6s, and this 6, we can solve for 6 right here. And now that puts some pressure down here in this block 8, because we have a 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. We need a 4 in these 4 cells, 4, 6, 7, 9. Well, I got a 6 and 7 here and a 4, so that's got to be your 9. And since the 6, 7 is already right there, this has got to be your 4. And so this is going to be a 6, 7. Okay, and so since there's a 7 right there, and you got a 7 here, this has to be the 7 up in block 2. All right, so we're making some progress here. And then you got these two 1s, means the only place left for a 1 is right there, which is going to give us a 2, 8 naked pair right here. So we're making some progress. We're moving along. And I promise you that the set was going to make this part of the solving a little bit easier. I'm going to show you that in just a bit. Because once you remove these 1s from right there, this creates a 3, 7 naked pair. And I'll show you why that matters here. All right, just keep following along. Okay, let's look at the 8s. You got an 8 here with these two 8s. The only place left for an 8 and block 9 is right there. And then now with the 2s, you got these 2s. This 2 means this has to be the only place for a 2 in block 7. And then also if you're looking in block 5, you got the 2s here with this 2. Solve for 2 right here. So we're going to make, put some more cants along row 5 here. Now, where can a 4 be in row 5? It can not be here because of this 4, and it can't be here because of this 4. So this has to be your 4. And then what else you notice is where can an 8 be? It can't be here because of this 8. So the 8 has to be right there. And so without removing those 9s, you'd look right here and you go, oh, I got a 3, 7, 9. Right? If you had the 9s there still, you think you had a naked triple. But since we removed the 9s, now the 9 can only be right here. This is the shortcut, at least one of them, that we got by removing the 9 from those columns. And I love this. That's why I wanted to show that to you, making our solve a little bit easier. All right, so let's look now in block 9 here. Where can a 6 be? Right there, which means this is now a 7, and that's going to be your 6 right there. Looking good. And now we can look over here, and you notice there's only one place now left for a 1 in column 1, and it's right here in block 7. So we can solve that for a 1, which gives us a 3 right there. And now we know that that's a 7, that's a 3. Looking good. Okay. And then with that 7, this is a 9, that's the 7. So we figured out those two cells. And with this 9, now we can get this other corner. So there's your 5, and there's your 9. Okay, 3 and a 7 means this has to be the 5. And we're now making a lot of great progress here. I got my 3, 5, 7. This is going to be your 1 right there. And so we're going to continue on. I got my 1 here. Only place for a 1, block 9, is right there, which gives us a 9. Okay. And then we have what's called a full house. There's only one more possibility here. And so that's got to be a 7. Okay. And then with these two 7s, we can solve for 7 right there. With this 7 and this 7, solve for 7 right there. We got rid of them. We got to solve all the 7s. I don't really want to get rid of them. I just want to solve them. And so we got a 3, 5 here. Here's my 5. So here's a 5, and here's your 3. Only place left for 3 in block 1 now is right there. And with these two 3s, we know 3's got to be in one of those spots, but we can do better. Let's look for what we have right here. Like this has got to be 8 or 9, okay? And so the 4 has to be right there now. And with these two 4s and this 4, we can solve for 4 right here. Doing just a little bit of cross-hatching, I know that's the quickest way to get the rest of the solving done here. And right here, it looks like we need a 1 or a 9. Okay, can we do better than that? And I'm sure we can. What do we need in here in these 3 blocks? We need a 3, 8, and 9. So we got this 8, you got this 8. That's got to be an 8 right there. All right, looking good. And now where are these two spots? Looks like it's going to be a 9 and 4. So here's your 4, and there's your 9. With these two 9s now, I can do the 9 over here along with the 8, which is going to give us a 2. It's going to give us the 8. And with this 2, now we can solve for the 2. Finish up this full house with our 5. Finish up the block full house with a 3. Nice. I don't see a 3 in block 6, so we can solve for that 3 here, which means this has to be your 3, and that's going to be your 9 in block 5. Don't see a 9 yet in block 4, so that's your 9, and this is going to be your 1. look at this one. So this is your 1, and the last digit is a 5. You need to check out this video if you want to understand set equivalence theory even better. Thank you so much, Julian, for giving me this puzzle. It was a joy to solve. Please consider supporting me through my Buy Me a Coffee page. Check out the link below, and thank you so much for watching.